It's another video from Ozzy's Robot. Brought to you by the Banana Collection.
Hey everyone, welcome back, and thank you for joining me on yet another fantastic, rare, amazing toy. And as always, before we get rolling, get comfortable. Kick back in that comfy chair of yours, the lazy boy or the Barco lounger or the bar stool at the kitchen, maybe your cubicle at work, and grab that steaming cup of coffee or hot tea, or maybe it's a brew where you're at. I'm cracking open this La Croche sparkling pure water. How healthy is that? Because I'm thirsty. And grab yourself a little snack. Make it healthy today. Maybe like a carrot stick, or those little baby carrots that are already peeled and they look round. I mean, they almost look like the Pringles of carrots because they're so perfectly formed. But they are tasty, Are they GMO carrots? Who knows? It's an interesting, topic to research. All these veggies that we're getting. How many of them are now GMOs? I have no idea. And you know what? That's not what we're here for. We're here to look at this spectacularly rare toy. And what toy do I have for you today? Well, if you really want to know the ins and outs, first of all, if you're lurking, do me a favor and subscribe. Most of the views are from non-subscribers. Shame on you for lurking and not subscribing. You should be supporting this channel. Anyway, with that out of the way, today I have, this is not Astro Boy. This is a Super Coon. Who is Super Coon? Well, I'd be lying if I tell you that I knew much about Super Coon, because I really don't. All I can tell you is that he's sort of like a knockoff of Astro Boy, kind of like a younger sibling, maybe. He came out, I think they were trying to expand. You know how you have his sister, right? And maybe they were trying to enhance the Astro Boy universe, or just like come up with a derivative character. I really, I'm guessing. We had Uran, who was on the show, but was Super Coon on the show? No, he's not technically, like, as far as I know, he's not part of the Astro Boy universe really either. So, you know what? I'm going to say this. If you know more about Super Coon, why don't you leave it in the comments so that I can actually present this accurately. I didn't even bother to do the Super Coon research. And I have a couple of other Super Coon toys, but I can tell you they go in my Astro Boy case because they're so amazing, and they do look like Astro Boy a lot. And I did have some information. I think my other videos did mention some more of the origin, but I tend to forget because it's not something that I focus on. I just know that I love the toys, and they're extremely rare, and they're extremely cool. Extremely cool. The big walker, the face that's all tin, is just an absolutely spectacular toy. I'm pretty sure I did the video on that particular toy. So anyway, on Yahoo Japan, that has a lot of really cool Japanese toys. Yahoo Japan is like the eBay for Japan. They don't use eBay as much as they use Yahoo Japan. It's almost like this remnant legacy of Yahoo, the cool part, that somehow survived, when the rest of Yahoo went into the crapper, and ended up, I think, who owns it now? Verizon. And it's basically what you expect. It's run by a bunch of, like let me put it to this. It's like the way Twitter used to be. So it's an echo chamber filled with bots and malcontents and a bunch of crap. But, the email still functions, and I do like the finance section, but the rest of it is hot garbage. But like most of the legacy tech sites. And, but the reason I bring it up is because on Yahoo Japan, they have a, not an avatar, but when they highlight different auction categories, this is one of the pictures that they reference. And I think eBay does that too. eBay, if I'm not mistaken, might have a, like a Missile Man robot on one of their, category, icon pictures. I think it's the Missile Man. But anyway, it makes you think that that toy is actually for sale when it's actually not. It's just a representative picture. And I've always admired this toy, and I'll be honest with you, because it's such a little small thumbnail. I used to think it was Astro Boy. I didn't really pay close attention to it until I saw those pods in his helmet, that I'm like, oh, okay, that's Super Coon. Anyway, this toy came up for sale on eBay, boxed, and the Yahoo one didn't even have a box. So it's very scarce toy. And it came up in a, kind of a strange category, certainly not in the right category. And it went low, low, low. And I'm like thinking, oh my God, this is going to be a steal. But sure enough, at the last second, I'm pretty sure I know who. Somebody sniped it and absolutely exploded the price at the last 5 seconds. Not enough that he could win it and fell my winning bid. But you know what? It jumped into those thousands. I was like, damn, I almost got this so cheap, so cheap. But I still feel I got it for a really good value. Now, when I received the toy, and this was clear on the pictures as well, the figure was loose. He wasn't mounted. The battery compartment had a bunch of problems. The contacts had some corrosion. So I right away I said, you know what, this service card, because that's what it is, this battery toy service card, is so freaking common. They use this for Tetsugen, and they used it in battery toys as a fire vehicle, as a police vehicle, as a tow truck. So I knew that I can get the perfect replacement. And it took me only a day, and I came across one, which I will show you, a donor, to swap out the exact same battery compartment. And the lights were the same, this particular pod light, the headlights, and bumpers were nicer, so you can get almost the identical car. Now, I'll show you the differences too, but I asked John at the Robot Hut if he would be so kind as to, repair and just swap out the better parts, and he did. He was kind enough to do that. So I was ecstatic because I just got this back a couple of days ago, and he did a marvelous job. Now, this is getting towards the end of February. I have no idea. This is probably going to post in early to mid-ish March. So you're seeing this video weeks after I received it, but be that as it may, it doesn't really matter. The bottom line is he made the toy complete, beautiful, and it's boxed, and it's super rare. And I think other than the Super Coon flying saucer, which I totally love, that's a great looking saucer under dome. I know the person that bought that off of Yahoo Japan. Hopefully I could find another. I think those are the best of the Super Coon toys, and especially as vehicles go. So anyway, let's start with the box. The box is kind of plain. And I'll tell you though, I had never even seen the box for this before. So it's a Nomura toy. You can see here T&N. That's the Nomura Diamond. It has a little bit of kanji there. So again, Japanese market toy. The illustration of Super Coon himself is very cool. Very cartoony, very comic booky, but there's not a lot of background. One thing that I kind of think is nice is that the antenna here actually matches the toy very precisely, which usually isn't the case, but really nice colors on this. It's a nice depiction, a nice drawing. You got this light flare effect here, which is pretty cool. Here's the side panel. I thought about, do I want to send this off to get just a little bit of repair there? And I'm right now I'm leaning against it because other than a few minor flaws, this box is pretty square. But you can see he's flying with his helmet pods there. And you got the logo back over there. And even the kanji is a little elaborate, embellished with some stars. So it's pretty cool. Now the end panel is nice because, again, I don't know my Super Coon lore, so I don't know who this Super Coon girlfriend is here, or could it be his sister? That's an interesting question. Is that the Uran to Super Coon, like the way Uran is to Astro Boy? And here's another side panel, and somewhere in Japan, maybe they wrote in ink. Yeah, one split corner, which is no big deal. Other than that, this thing is complete and square, nice bottom. Nothing, again, like a box that you probably, if you research on Google, I think you would have a hard time finding an example of this box. in any condition. So as far as the vehicle itself, it's the, like I said, the service vehicle. Now, one of the things that surprises me, I don't even know if surprise is the right word. I'm going to show you the donor vehicle. And the donor vehicle is so much more embellished that sometimes I wish that, you know, when you get into these way more grossly expensive character versions of these toys, that they would have added a lot more bells and whistles. Because if you look at the service truck where I got the battery compartment and, you know, the little bit nicer bumper and stuff like that, it just has a lot more going on. So before I get to the rest of the toy, here's the donor vehicle. You can see it's the exact same body. Let me back up a little bit here. So, for example, right, this has a cool antenna here. This doesn't have an antenna. This is more of a tan color. It has a door handle here, which this doesn't have. You know, I know back in the day, like, or well, not back in the day, but in car design times, they go with flush or no door handles for show cars. That's actually like a thing for a cleaner look. So you might say, well, that's probably preferred. I think though that I think, you know, the more in this case is nicer. They also have this AAA badge here, which this has no badge. So you could have put something else on here, which they neglected to do here. You have these rear like service lights. Now this doesn't have this spring antenna, but you know, this has a freaking tow hook, all tin. So, and you know, look, even the hook is hanging on a chain. It's got lithography on it. So this obviously is more elaborate in that respect. Now, if we go to the back, which now I'm showing you the vehicle, obviously, you have like the spare tire here. Where over here you have like a toolbox. And here's the back of those service lights. These are kind of chromed out. And you can see the bumpers, exact same bumpers. The other thing is this figure here is all tin, and you can see they even tabbed in AAA as a separate tin piece that they had a die cut and tab into him. As far as the dash is almost exactly the same, the lithography. And the other thing, to me, which I think would have been kind of cool, would have been this character is all tin, and, you know, he's got the vinyl head. So it would have been nice if they did a tin head and just a vinyl helmet. That would have been really cool. Now, not that I don't like vinyl, because I do, but tin is always just, you know, let's face it, it's just nicer. It presents nicer. Other than that, you can see here, it's exactly the same, the vehicle. Got the same grille, same bumpers. You got like a blue lens here, and you got kind of like a greenish lens here, which is what the car has on the box. And this body's actually a little bit nicer condition too. And this is more of a tan color. This is more of a pure white. So now, would I want to have that because of the embellishments? No, hell no. But I'm just saying that, you know, it's almost like they took away from this. They cheapened it, and yet it's worth like a ton more money, ton. You can get these nicely boxed for a couple $100. This in the box could set you back, you know, thank God I think I got it fairly cheap, but I wouldn't be surprised at a Mandarake auction if this hits, you know, up to $15,000 by comparison. You know, I'm speculating, but 10 for sure. And this is the bottom of the service truck, and this is the battery compartment and the terminals, or not the terminal, yeah, well, the battery terminals that I took out. I just wanted this change. I wanted the nicer one. So John did a great job. And then we'll see if this one's working. I think they're both working. So like I said, it's the lithography on the, I'm going to pick the camera up here. The lithography is the same pretty much in the cockpit. There was some staining over here at first when I saw it, and what it is, see that schmutz over there? Again, that is your adhesive that turns dark. That's why when we talk about some of those plush toys and they always have that staining, it's that adhesive that just discolors. So this was actually sticking up. And at first I thought, oh man, is that body like oxidized or something? And it's not. It's just the adhesive. And it's just not holding on the felt cape, which he does have this felt cape. And here's a look at the little mousey on the back of his spare tire. And this is cool, though, with the kanji and the stars. It's very colorful. John actually cleaned and shined up this antenna really nicely. And again, his body's all tin. Got his go-go boots on over there. Strongman underwear. And it is a cool vinyl figure. Very happy face. I like the marking there, too. It's kind of like Super Coon's little star-embellished, speed-lined marquee there. And the bottom of this is super, super clean. So that's a look at your toy. And obviously I don't want this to fall off. Let me move my drink. And I'm going to turn it on. This is a very small area for a bump and go, but we'll turn it on and see what happens. Whew. Okay, did you notice we're in a new location? Well, that didn't go over too well. Slam right into the camera. I'm going to turn it back on, and you know, if it breaks this giant robot, that'll be something else. Let me just get to the switch here, but I'm going to see it run around here. Damn, it's slammed hard. I hate to even try to do that, but I think that's it. You know what? I hear that motor kind of grinding away, and I'm like, yeah. We've had enough. We had enough of you. Oh my God, look at his. If you noticed the way he steers, the arms move when he bumps into something. Let me just fix him up a little bit here. Wow. Whew, entangle his arm. Man, he is fast. John was right. He said this motor was fast. He said it was very appropriate for a like a character figure like this, a speedy character figure, and he was not lying. Anyway, wow, you can get your exercise chasing these things around. No wonder his felt cape pops up, and pull it down a little bit. That was funny. You know, when I'm running these and I hear that big thump when it bumps into stuff, I'm wondering, like, did he just like smash his bumper? Is it dented? But you know, when you look at it, there's like nothing, no damage. So, but you don't know how that like impacts the gears, you know, like if there's any plastic gears and this thing's slamming into the wall. So, you know, let me turn it on just to make sure it still works. Yeah, thank God. All right, well, that's not going to see the light of day, that being turned on for at least another 5 years, maybe. So that is your Super Coon service car. And you know what? I don't think we need to show the service truck. If you do want to see the service truck, you let me know and I'll do a separate video on that. I just don't feel like putting that one down now. So let me know what you think. And with that, I appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure entertaining you with these things. And I, again, appreciate that you're taking the time to watch this. So with that, thank you, my friends. And again, a pleasant reminder, quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I will talk to you later.